everybody, it's Ann back behind my apron on this Sunday afternoon. I thought it would be fun to pop in and show you something I'm really excited about, and it's easy, super easy. Plus I'm making lasagna soup this afternoon, which is such a standby, so I was just going to walk you through that too. But first, sitting down here in front of me, Pampered Chef's new enamel Dutch oven baker, and I'm putting my mitt on because I just took this out of the oven. Preheated the baker, okay? So this is new in our line this month, and I am going to show you the new Dutch oven bread that you can bake in here. And then, believe it or not, once I take the bread out and it's baked, I'm actually going to turn right around and make the lasagna soup in here. So the very first thing I did this morning, and by the way, this bread recipe is on my website, my Pampered Chef website, and then the lasagna soup recipe is in our favorite Second Harvest cookbook that my cousins and I wrote to sell fall, and these are still available, so just let me know if you want that as well. But it's kind of a chilly Sunday, so I thought this would be really fun to try, and it's Dutch oven bread, and you use our rosemary seasoning and you use Parmesan cheese right in the dough. And the dough is so easy. You just mix up the flour, the salt, the yeast, the hot water, the rosemary, the Parmesan, and maybe a little bit of sugar or something. Mix it all, knead it just a little bit, and then you put it in a big bowl. So I love our stainless steel mixing bowls. So I oiled the bowl, put the bread in here to rise, let it go 2-3 hours, whatever you want to do, whatever your schedule works. Then take the dough out, knead it, punch it down, knead it a little bit more, and then put it on top of parchment paper before you put it back in the bowl. So that's what I've done so far. So now it has risen for another hour, and I'm going to do the finishing touches and put it in the Dutch oven baker to bake. So what you want to do is you want to make a little cut on the top of the loaf somewhere. And this is the tomato knife. These are super sharp. But you need a very sharp knife, and you want to be very gentle when you're cutting into bread that's risen so you don't let it fall. So I'm just going to do like a tic-tac-toe board. So I will make the cuts, and then I will lift this up to show you guys so you can see. So very carefully. Some people have gotten really creative, and I do want to learn how to do art bread where you can make hearts and all kinds of shapes on it. But as you can see, I just carefully cut my board. Then you want to brush the top with a little bit more olive oil. So that's what I'm going to do, using our famous silicone brush and the prep bowl, so I don't have so much mess going on and I can control the amount I'm getting. And then you want to top it with a little additional grated Parmesan cheese that you used in the dough. So you keep out a tablespoon or two for the topping. And so that's what it looks like. And now this pan has been preheated in my oven for 450 degrees for 30 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna carefully lift off these sheets of parchment, making sure I have a hold of it all here, and putting it right down in the baker. And I'm gonna put the lid back on, and you can put it right on top of the parchment paper, it's fine. And I'm going to, I don't know where my other mitt is right now, so I guess I'll do that when I get off of live. I'm going to place it in the oven for 25 minutes cooking. Then I'm going to take off the lid and let it keep cooking for about 10 minutes so that I can have this beautiful dark brown crust like you want. Because remember, this is an artisan bread. So this is just a really fun way to use this. And then what I'm going to do, and I'm looking to see if you guys are commenting to me. Jenny's talking about the design of the Dutch oven baker and my design on the bread. Yeah, I did good, didn't I, Jenny? By the way, this super sharp knife, this is so versatile, and it is Pampered Chef's gift. It's one of your gift choices. If you shop with us this month and your order's over $80, you get this amazing knife for free. It's one of the picks you could do. But once this comes out of the oven, then I'm going to just tell you my lasagna soup. So what I will do is I have some sausage that I bought at Graziano's Italian grocery in Des Moines that I thought would be fun to try in this, but you can make it with ground beef too. But brown sausage, onions, and garlic, and then I add spaghetti sauce, beef broth, and water, okay? And you brown the meat and drain that first before you add all the liquids. And then let it simmer as long as you like. And some people even like putting in like whole canned tomatoes, you know, like I don't know, stewed tomatoes you could use if you wanted. You can really have some flexibility. Then I do add a heaping capful of our Italian seasoning from our line. Let it simmer as long as you want. And then just 15 minutes before you want to have soup, you want to put in whatever shape pasta noodles that you want to make it lasagna soup. And then when you serve it, tonight we're gonna use this wonderful crusty bread and just a little fresh Parmesan cheese on top of the soup, and it'll be good to go. So it's a recipe, you could actually make it and eat it right then, but a lot of things that I do that are tomato based, I kind of like to let it simmer for a couple hours, kind of like chili and things, so it gets those flavorings all the way through as well. So it's nice to be able to cook this afternoon and use one pot for everything. And then that way it'll be super easy for cleanup, and it's no effort. And this pot is pretty amazing. It is really heavy. It's cast iron. So you guys that work with cast iron, you know what that's like. But it is so worth it. And the other thing that's really awesome is if you are doing like a roast or a stew in it, these dimple tops, see that? It lets the juice self-baste and it runs back down into the pan. So I better get that in the oven. And like always, I will post a few pictures for you. Remember, the bread recipe's on my website, and the lasagna soup recipe is in our cookbook that we sell that's called Second Harvest. But you guys, this is soup season for me. So if you have a great super chowder too, would you guys put it in the feed so that we can share some recipes? I would love to add to my repertoire. This is a favorite one, but I love to add some new things too. So it'd be fun if you guys would put some comments in there. Thanks everybody. Have a great Sunday.